DLC.
Interesting. That's the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth demo. The other game that is on your playlist, it's also on my playlist. In fact, we played it together quite a lot. Is Helldivers 2, which just hit PC and PlayStation 5. It is notable because it is a day and date Sony exclusive that has come out on PC, which, obviously we've seen Sony embrace the PC marketplace much more in the last few years, but most of the time those exclusives are staggered. You'll get that Horizon release a few months after the PlayStation 5 version. Not so with Helldivers 2, and a lot of that is because this is a live service game that really lives and dies on having a robust community, and it looks like the calculus was, hey, let's get as many people as we can playing this thing, so people are playing with each other, and I think that was smart. I think both of us are playing on PC, right, Christian?
I am.
Or you play on both?
We received codes. We should say that.
We did.
I do have codes for both. I've yet to fire up the PlayStation 5 version. I'm waiting for cross progression, which the developers have said is coming, but is not day and date. And I
cross play is available, is already in.
Yes.
So you can play with people on either platform in your party, but cross progression, moving between platforms, is not yet there.
Yes. So I've been playing on PC. I did play on Steam Deck. When the game first launched, it was oddly incompatible with Steam Deck, where folks were finding, little hacks or ways to get it in a different experimental protons to get it to work. And then they released an update. Having a beefy GP in a way that I can sit down and play this at a desktop, Steam Deck is not the way I would choose to play it if you have the option. But I had a locked 30 frames experience. I went in and I played solo, a couple of easy missions. I squatted up with some randoms and did a 4-person thing on Steam Deck. I was super impressed that it ran and was playable on deck. But on PC, my goodness, what a treat. This game's awesome. If people want to see us play it, we played with Dave Chen. I talked him into buying it. It was not that hard to talk him into. I said, hey, you should buy this. Let's play. And he did.
It's also nice that it's $40, not 60 or 70.
Yes. And so if people want to see our playthrough, Dave streamed them, so they're on his Twitch. You can see us kind of getting those first impressions. Jeff, I love this game. I think...
Me too. We had so much fun playing together. Oh, my gosh.
So fun. And I mean this in the best way possible. What a dumb game.
Well, it's intentionally dumb, right?
Yes.
It is very much Starship Troopers, if you've ever seen the film version from, God, what year was that? But that aesthetic of a big, dumb, self-aware, we know what we're doing type game. So I think dumb is a compliment in this case.
Yes, I agree. But beautiful, it's dumb.
Really
like you said, intentionally, you're liberating, kill them bugs, kill these droids, you got to take back for democracy.
Democracy in your face, that kind of stuff.
Not today. A lot of very silly intentional things, but graphically and gameplay wise, it is a top tier game delivering on experiences in such a frenetic and fun way. So I played the first Helldivers on my Vita way back when, and it was isometric, similar in time in scope in that you're going down and trying to doing these things with the squad. But I think the move to Helldivers 2, and the developers talked about this with adding switching to third person, makes it a little more claustrophobic. Like, Jeff, when we're playing, there are moments where it's like, oh, people northwest, and, I'm taking them down. And then there were multiple times where we were like, behind us, turn around. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah. Because your camera's brought in, or you step on a mine as you're backing up because a charger's coming at you, and you don't know that Dave, it was definitely Dave, deployed a minefield behind you because you don't have that spatial awareness. And it allows for hilarity in ways that is never frustrating, right? Like, again, you said it when we were playing, and to quote our friend Dan Trachtenberg, it's all the good suck, right? Like, so much of it is encumbering you in a way that if you just told someone you have to do this, it's like, I would not want to do that.
Yeah, the game is, like, the mechanics of the game are intentionally difficult and cumbersome. Difficult's the wrong word. Cumbersome, laborious, right? Words that you don't associate with fun. Everything takes 12 steps. Everything requires laborious input of multiple commands, and all of that is to create these moments of tension. So the game really relies on what they call stratagems, which are basically you are a hell diver, meaning you're diving into hell, meaning you are on a spaceship. These planets are overrun by various awful bugs and baddies, and you have to try to liberate them by murdering them or recapturing points or doing all kinds of different quests. So you're shot down, you're diving down from the orbiting spaceship, landing on the planet, having to do certain things. Once you do it, you have to then escape and get evac'd out of there. But the ships remain in orbit, and so much of what you're able to do relies on calling to those ships and having those ships send you things, be they supplies or turrets or extra stuff or a laser strike from the sky. And oftentimes, those are basically the special moves of this world. So you've got guns, you've got grenades, you're running around, third-person action shooter, Destiny in third person, killing a bunch of stuff. But your special attacks, your coolest stuff, your magic, so to speak, is calling down stuff from the orbiting spaceships. But the way you do that is you have to input basically a Konami code style series of laborious inputs. And each of the things that you're able to do, and you can decide your loadout mission to mission based on what you've purchased, acquiring the in-game currency, and then buying the cool stuff that you want to outfit your guy with. And so there's a list of 6 or 7 different things you can call down at any given time, but they're all like left, right, up, down, right, left, up, down. And you got to do that on the fly while you're being swarmed on all sides by hordes of bad guys, icky bugs and robots and all kinds of stuff.
And it shows you the prompts. You don't need to memorize it. And I think sometimes they're different. I've played probably 7 hours as of recording, and I'm still not sure if all of the commands are always the same or not, because
you're in the heat of battle and you're just like, I gotta do it. But all of it is there to specifically be cumbersome, and you've got to take your mind and put it into this intricate series of commands while also kiting a giant space bug that's spewing acid at your face.
And walking through mud that slows you down 20%, and yes. You've run out of stamina to sprint. Also, your clip's has 2 bullets left. Go reload.
and I am well aware that kind of sounds dreadfully unfun. Yeah. It's right, Vic. Yeah. It sounds like that just sounds tedious and awful. But in the heat of it, it just creates, and because it really is a game intended to be played in groups, it just engenders these incredible moments of being at the frayed edge of sanity. It's like what the game is trying to create is, oh my God, and it really does that a lot. It really does a great job of just throwing things at you and knocking you off your perfect plan and making
bloopers. It's full of blooper reels. Friendly fire cannot be turned off.
Right. You're shooting your friends. You're accidentally calling down an orbital strike and your friend walks in the path. You are trying to do a thing and you haven't done it right. And there's 14 steps to the mission and you've got to, you've got to carry this thing that slows you down to 5% of your walking speed while your friend is screaming that there's 400 alien bugs coming over the ridge. It really does create those stories that I think make multiplayer gaming so much fun. Is, oh my God, do you remember what you were doing? And you shot me. Yeah. That kind of wacky, everything is a snowball going down the hill, out of control type situation. So we had a blast on. The other thing I want to say is that I think is genius is because all of the orbital call downs are done in this fashion that I've described of, you know, these Konami code style intricate inputs.
And then you get a Pokeball basically that you throw into the world, and that's where the ammo will land.
Yeah. The biggest thing of genius, I think, in this whole game is that's also how you revive a teammate. So in every other game, you have to run up to your teammate's fallen corpse and hold X or whatever you do to revive the teammate. And there's a certain tension and fun in that. But this game tries something completely different. And I think it is a huge success because you don't have to get anywhere near your teammate. Your teammate goes down. Who cares where they are? But you have to call in this really intricate, goofy code and then throw a ball to find out where they're going to respawn.
You threw me right by the big guy. Oh no!
Yeah, it is genius because it just completely changes up that entire process of your teammate goes down. What do you do? Who's on it? Who's doing it? Oh my gosh, I'm being swarmed. I don't have time to move my thumb over and put in these crazy up, down, left, right, BA, select, start, you know? But again, all of it is there to just make it, you know, walking and chewing gum. It's all trying to juggle 14 things. You're juggling chainsaws, you know, it's just that kind of game. And it's fun. It's super fun.
I agree.
Dead by Daylight sound like chill. Like, you know, like you cannot judge me being like, oh, Dead by Daylight, how are you relaxing? Like that sounds like a nightmare, a wonderful nightmare, but nobody can judge me.
To be fair, it is not relaxing.
No, he plays games to relax.
But we had so much fun, and Christian is right. The game is really attractive. I love the art design. It is. There's all kinds of goofy stuff that will hurt you if you walk over it and run into it, slow you down. And all of it looks attractive. Like, oh, look at that beautiful glitch. Oh, it hurt me. Why did it? You know, it's all just, it's so well designed. And the world really does feel like you're dropping into hell. You know, it's how they describe Pandora in the first Avatar movie, where it's like, everything wants to eat your eyes as jujubes, you know, that monologue. So everything feels dangerous. Everything feels scary. You have a time limit for your missions. So it's like there's optional stuff that you can get you more XP, more cool currency that you can spend on awesome stuff. So you want to do it, but tick, tick, tick. You know, you got to push your luck element as well. Christian, we had so much fun, right?
I mean, yes, I maybe am thinking about, do I have time to play today between after doing this and needing to do something else? I think also, well, one, I should say for us, it was a very smooth launch, which I know people playing now, if they hear us and think, I want to buy it, you're out of that launch window, it doesn't affect you. But I think so many of these games launch in very difficult states at launch. For my personal play experience, it was fantastic. Absolutely phenomenal day one launch, playing online with friends, people I wanted to play with, playing with randoms, matchmaking. I had a great time. I can only speak.
I had one hard crash to desktop on PC, and immediately as I rebooted it, it downloaded a patch, and I haven't had a single issue since. So,
yeah, that's great.
But I do, again, Christian and I have beefy GPs. So, you know, on PC, I've heard that people with sort of lower end specs are having a harder time of it. But I heard the PS5 version is very stable.
And then the other thing I want to call out is its games as service element. It has the, you know, Fortnite made famous battle pass style thing. And there's a free one, war bonds is what they call them. And then there is a paid one. And in those war bonds is where you're going to unlock different guns, different armor sets that are often just cosmetic. The guns do have perks, or like better or stronger guns.
The armor does too.
Some of the armor does, yes. Yeah. And you're working through those things. Jeff and I, in our code, we got the premium war bond as well, which is a different set of things that you're using your in-game currency to unlock your way through. And I enjoy those types of progressions. I enjoy the Fortnite Battle Pass. I think they can be fun. My only frustration with Helldivers 2 so far and their war bonds is that it does the thing that Fortnite started to do maybe 4 or 5 seasons ago, where it's pages of stuff, and you can't, if let's say Spider-Gwen is on page 7, I can't just save up 120 trinkets and go to page 7 and buy Spider-Gwen. I need to spend enough trinkets on each page. Like each page is gated by trinket spend to get to the next. So it'd be like if you walked into Walmart and it's like, you want to go to the video game section. Great. Well, you got to buy 10 packs of underwear first. I don't want underwear. Well, you got to buy underwear.
I don't want that department is before the video game department. Sorry.
Yeah. And welcome to vegetables. I want fruit. Nope.
Greeting cards is next. Man.
And there is some of that. And I think some of the things, more so I would say on the premium war bond, it seems like a pretty hefty cost. Like I think in the premium war bond, it's spend 25 medals before you can unlock the second page. Like it requires buying almost everything on that first page. I don't love that. That said, I don't feel like I necessarily need the best guns to have fun with friends, because I'm not trying to min-max my way through this game. The broader conceit is Earth, or New Earth, whatever it's called, is safe, but all of the planets around it are deadly and dangerous. And so the other aspect of the game as service that it's doing is you see these bars, like Jeff, we liberated Heath. We were part of, all the players in the world that have now freed this planet. And we've killed all the enemies on it. And now there's going to be new planets that we have to go to and fight. So you're always making progress in that larger meta, even if you don't have the best shotgun or railgun to go down and do it with. You're still chipping away at that. So I still find that exciting and rewarding. And I hope that they kind of tweak the cost of pages of war bonds. But I love this game, and I would love to play it with you if you're sad or happy after the Super Bowl.
Yes. Either way. It has capes.
It does have capes.
Any game that has capes, I already like it. It's already +1 to me liking it.
You would not be a good capes. Incredible then.
That's true.
No capes.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm going to be playing this for a while. It really does feel fun. It is grindy, as you kind of indicated. It does feel pretty grindy. The coolest stuff is all the, bring it down from the sky stuff. You don't really get new abilities per se. That's the way you get abilities, is new stuff from the sky. So you kind of have to embrace that if you're going to play. But I think the shooting feels really good. Like laying into a giant bug that's running at you feels really good. Like they get, ripped apart by your gunfire in such a satisfying way, the way you would want, the way it looks in Starship Troopers the movie, the way like bits and pieces are being torn off of them and they're tumbling and their 4 arachnid legs are kind of crumpling underneath them. It's just very well done. So just the pure base gameplay loop of kill a bunch of bugs just feels really good. And the game looks great, plays great. It supports super ultra wide. This is a huge thumbs up for me. I'm so impressed with it. I did not expect to like it as much as I do.
Yeah, I agree. It's great.
So that's Helldivers 2.
You can get the full audio version of this show by subscribing to the RSS feed, which you can find at dlcpod.com. And you can support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/dlcpod, where you will get ad-free versions of the show, video versions of the show on demand, and a whole bunch of extra content, like Wednesday's show, paid DLC, including spoiler chats, so much more. That's patreon.com/dlcpod.